Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is a list of all the side Easter eggs on the tomb in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Let's start with the free Raygun Easter egg. For this, you need to find a shovel, which can be found in various areas around the map. They're in fixed spawns, and so you can always find one here, for example. And you also need to buy the Death Perception perk on the left-hand side of the map. Then go around the map looking for dig sites on the ground, which will respawn every couple of rounds. And when you dig, you have a chance to get regular loot, or you have a chance to get a green gem. You need to dig until you get 3 green gems, and then you need to bring them to this statue here, just next to the bull painting that we use for the main quest Easter egg. Hold square to deposit the gems into the statue, and it'll do a little funky animation, and a green-eyed doppelgast will spawn in. Kill it, and then go back to the statue, and you can wait for the drop for your free Raygun. Next is the Blood Sacrifice Easter egg to get yourself gold armor, which is an incredible upgrade to get, but it is very difficult to do. I would recommend being at tier 3 Pack-a-Punch with a gold gun, and I'd also recommend having tier 3 armor and having enough money to be able to refresh your armor at the tier 2 wall buy, just in case you run out mid-fight. But before we talk about the fight, we've got to talk about how to get in there. So go to the Dark Ether, and you need to find this wooden crate just opposite the Juggernog machine, and you need to melee it several times until you break it open, and you can then hold square to pick up the head from inside. Then go to the opposite side of the Dark Ether, and there's a second crate that you need to do the exact same thing with. This one's kind of near the green portal, and once you break it open, pick the head up. Then go to the spawn and hold square to place a head on each of these 2 statues, and then you have the option to start the blood sacrifice. The 2 statues spawn in different enemies. The lower statue spawns in mimics, and the upper statue spawns in doppelgasts, and you need to do both fights, but you can do them in any order. I usually do the mimics first, so I'll activate the lower statue, and I'll make sure that I've got cryo freeze on my gun because mimics are weak to cryo. I'll usually hip fire a little bit into the fog just to get the cryo symbol to pop up so I can see where the enemies are based on that, and then you're just going to sort of do circles around the arena, trying not to get hit at all because your health will be set to 1 HP, but you'll still have your armor, and so you just need to not run out of armor, and eventually you'll be able to take the mimics down and the challenge will end. Or if you want to cancel the challenge midway, you can just run out of the spawn area and it will despawn all the mimics. But once you've killed them all, that start of the challenge will be completed, and then you need to reactivate the challenge on the other statue and take out the doppelgasts. And once that second one is done, a gold armor wall buy will spawn in next to the 2 gold bulls at the top of the spawn area. Gold armor will automatically regenerate over time, so it's extremely overpowered. Next, you can get a free power-up, which is different to the free power-up Easter eggs elsewhere, and this also gets you about 1,000 points. So you're going to go to the spawn area and put dead wire on your gun, and then shoot these 2 generators, and 2 500-point essence drops will spawn alongside a randomized power-up. For a free ether tool, go to the Dark Ether with either cryo freeze on your gun or just with the ice staff, and shoot these 2 waterfalls, which will cause them to freeze over, and then you can go to this square broken ruin, and there'll be a free ether tool waiting for you. But you might want to strategize a little bit when you do this in your game, because if you do this on a really early round, like round 9 or something, you're going to get a lower rarity ether tool, whereas if you do it from rounds 21 onwards, you're going to get yourself a gold ether tool, so you're going to go to legendary rarity, and that's going to save you that extra 5,000 salvage going from purple to gold. Now, speaking of free stuff, there's a free perk Easter egg, and this one's in this room here. You just need to apply napalm burst to your weapon, or you can use a Molotov as an alternative as well. Then you just need to ignite one of these bowls here, and that will cause another Molotov to pop out, and it will light the bowl. And so you can just keep using the Molotovs that jump out of the bowls, or you can just keep using your napalm burst to light all of the bowls in the room, and once they are all lit, you'll be rewarded with a free perk. There's also an Easter egg to get a free cryo freeze and a free pack-a-punch crystal. For this, it's in the Dark Ether, and you need to look out for this little electrified rock in the sky. And once you shoot that, it's going to spawn in several other rocks that all start zooming around, and you need to shoot all of them in very quick succession so they are all stationary. As you do this, you'll hear an ascending tone, and once you get your 5th rock shot, you'll be able to look down on the floor in front of the broken wall by the Pack-a-Punch, and you'll have a free cryo freeze and a free Pack-a-Punch crystal. Next is the music Easter egg. For this, there are 3 locations for Mr. Mr. Peak's headphones as usual. The first one is near the green portal. It's going to be on the side just here on this ledge. Hold square on that. That's your first one. The second one is inside the stamina up room. So go to that perk on the left-hand side of the map, the opposite side of the map to Speed Cola, and you'll find the headphones on the left-hand side of the perk, just on this little ledge here. And the third one is on one of the outer paths in the Dark Ether. So we're going to start with our back to the yellow portal, and then you're just going to follow where I'm walking here, and you'll find it on the floor just by this little plant thing. Hold square on that, and the music Easter egg will begin. Next, we've got all of the free power-ups on the map. So for starters, we're going to start with double points. Follow the path that I'm walking on here, starting from the green portal in the Dark Ether, and you'll see the double points just resting up in the rocks just here. Shoot it, you'll get your free double points. For bonus points, this one is right next to the blue portal. So enter the Dark Ether, and then you'll see the bonus points just here in this little hole. Then for the nuke, this one is outside of the map in the room past Deadshot. So follow where I'm walking in the clip here, and then you'll be able to shoot where I'm shooting here, and you'll get yourself a free nuke. For max armor, this is a really useful one, actually, if you're planning to do the blood sacrifice and you want to top up before you do it. And it's in the Speed Cola room, up in this hole here near the top of the wall. For insta-kill, this one's especially useful for the boss fight in this map, and also, I guess, for the blood sacrifice if you want. That's in the temple area, so if you stand to the right of the armor machine, as you can see I'm doing in the gameplay here, you'll be able to see it here in the rocks, and some people choose to throw C4s on this to use it in the boss, but you can also obviously just shoot it should you so desire. For the max ammo, if you've got your back to the red portal and you're in the underground area, on the left-hand side, it's going to be up in this cave here in the sort of top part of this little window opening thing. For full power, if you're in the stamina up room, follow where I'm going in the gameplay here and go to this barrier, and it's right in the back, and you can grab yourself a full power. This one's pretty easy to spot. And then after you've collected all of the above, you can get yourself a free fire sale. And to do that, walk exactly where I'm walking to, kind of near the blue portal, and you should see the fire sale outside of the map. But again, it's only possible if you've collected all the previous power-ups already, and it's going to be a lot easier to see if you've got a sniper, but you can also just shoot it and see it with a red dot if that's what you've got in your game. And that's all of the power-ups. There are also 10 vases around the map that we can shoot to get ourselves a free self-revive. So the locations for all those vases are as follows. I'm going to work through them all nice and slowly for you now so you can see exactly where they are. Number one is right above the rampage inducer in the spawn room. Look up there, you'll see it sitting on the wall. Shoot that. That's your first vase. The second is above the door that's next to PhD. It's also in the spawn room, so look above that door and you can shoot that one there. The third one is going to be fairly nearby. This one's behind where the upper statue is, and it's also above where the blue door into the Dark Ether spawns in once you open that up, and you'll see it on the corner of that structure, so shoot that. That's number 3. For the fourth one, come over to where Deadshot is, and then follow where I'm walking here. It's also next to a box spawn location, which you might have in your game, and the area in the top left will be the Neolithic Catacombs, and you'll then want to shoot the vase just outside of this window here on the right-hand side. For the fifth one, follow this path from the green portal. You're going to go up this little staircase here, and then you're going to do a 180. Look behind you, and the vase is above you on a ledge over the doorway. For the sixth one, we're going to be going over to the quick revive machine, as you can see I'm doing here, and we'll be looking up and to the left, and you can see the vase just next to this pillar. For the seventh, if you look towards the ceiling near the red portal, you'll see the vase kind of actually up there where the light is streaming into the room. That's number 7. And while you're stood there, there's actually another one that you can shoot very quickly as well above the red portal. It's on the left-hand side, basically the top of the wall that the red portal is attached to. Then we're going to head over to the stamina up room, and in there, if you look up and to your right, you'll see another vase amongst the fires up there. And the 10th and final vase is nearby to the bull painting that you use for the main quest Easter egg, but it's going to be on the right-hand side of the room, as you can see I'm showing you in the gameplay clip just here. So shoot that, and you'll get yourself your free self-revive. There's also a free brain rot Easter egg. For this one, you're going to come down to the stamina up side of the map, and you want to come specifically into this little kind of nook and cranny just here, and you need to shoot the heads of the statues, but the order, I think, randomizes in your game. So for me, I'm shooting this head and it's lighting up, and that's a sign that that's a correct statue, and then I'm going to shoot the other statue heads until I find the correct head that lights up, and I'm just going to keep on going, and eventually, if I get the order wrong, time's going to run out, and they're all going to stop glowing, so I'm just going to do the order that I figured out, up to that point that I figured it out, and then I'm going to keep shooting heads until I get all of them lit up. I believe there's 9 of them total, and once you've shot them all, you'll get yourself a free brain rot. There's also a skulls Easter egg, which is an extremely fiddly one, because the skulls are very difficult to find. So for this, you need to come over to the opposite side of the map to where we just were, and around here, there are skulls that you'll notice have an X on their forehead, and these spawns do move, so you're going to need to find the spawns in your game, but there's generally one skull usually in this room here, another skull often in this room just here, a third skull in this room just here, or sort of between them, and a fourth skull in this room just here. But like I said, they do move around, and I don't have all the spawns for you because they're just so difficult to find. Like, it just sort of breaks my brain a little bit. But what you need to do is you need to have brain rot on your gun, and you need to then shoot the 4 skulls in the order that they light up in your game. And you can test that by just shooting them and seeing if they light up. And once you do that, it will spawn in a handful of brain-rotted zombies, and you'll also get some intel. Next, there is a jump scare Easter egg that is really strange, actually. I feel like there might be more to this that's unsolved right now, but we'll come back to that in a second. So the way that you activate the jump scare egg itself is you need to find a statue, which is stood outside of the map, and when you shoot the statue, it's going to swivel with red eyes, and it's going to look towards you, and then a short time later, you'll be jump scared, and it's a pretty scary jump scare. The 3 locations that we know of so far for these statues are as follows. The first is right on top of the giant structure above Quick Revive. So this one will be really easy to see. It's just sort of poking out up the top there. As you can see, this is what it looks like when you shoot it. It's going to swivel around to you, and then the jump scare will happen, like I said, a short time later. The second spawn for it can be, actually, if we go back to where Deadshot was and go back to that window behind it where the box spawn is, the same one we used for the vase earlier, on the left-hand side of that window, you'll see it facing away from you. You can shoot it to make it turn towards you. That's number 2. And then the third one is also, if you're facing Deadshot, just do a 90-degree turn to your right and look out of the window that's right there, and you'll see it in the distance. Shoot that, it'll swivel, you'll get the red eyes, and then you'll get jump scared. So I mentioned there might be some unsolved stuff with this egg in particular. The jump scares are very strange. I feel like they almost act like a fail step for an Easter egg. Like there's something else we're meant to be doing, and getting jump scared shows that we've done it wrong. And the jump scares do come back, but they come back in kind of weird ways, and they sort of glitch on top of each other. And it's really strange. So if you've got any theories for how this Easter egg could continue, please drop them in the comments down below. And if there are any other side quests on the map that get solved once I've posted this video, I'd love to hear about them, and I'll link them on screen right now as well in a follow-up video for you to click through to and do those as well. So thanks for watching in the meantime, and if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.